2017 Bentley Flying Spur V8. In the rarefied era of mainstream luxury brand flagships from Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW exist the ultra-exclusive, hand-built sedans from Rolls-Royce, Aston Martin, and Bentley, each offering 12-cylinder power, the choicest material furnishings, and indubitable pedigrees. Given these cars' unapologetic price tags, a normal person might expect them to surpass any off-the-rack Audi A8, S-Class Benz, or 7 Series Beamer in every respect. Or at least most respects. Or at least in terms of the luxury features, right? Well, people who buy automobiles like the shimmering gold 2017 Bentley Flying Spur V8 tested here aren't normal. When they decide to buy a Flying Spur, it's not to add a new luxury sedan to their stable, it's to add a Bentley to their stable. They're probably aware that any of those hyper-competent Teutonic sleds offers more high-tech wizardry than the Flying Spur, which doesn't even come with a USB port. Indeed, they probably have one of those German cars, too. And few would ever get caught baiting an S63, M760i, or S8, each of which can hit 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds or less, into a stoplight duel. So where this car's performance numbers fall relative to those may be beside the point. What does matter is that the Flying Spur delivers on its promise as a Bentley with the waft, the warmth, and the eminent gracefulness for which the brand's cars have been known for decades. Based on the previous generation Continental GT, the Flying Spur sedan has proved satisfying in that regard since first appearing in 2005, and particularly so since the second-gen model arrived for 2014 with an even prettier, sleeker body and a more powerful, 616-horsepower W12 engine. We were impressed upon our first drive of the lighter, cheaper Flying Spur V8. Which lost exactly none of its Bentley-ness with the fitment of the Volkswagen Group's ubiquitous 4.0-liter 8-cylinder, tuned to produce a stout 500 horsepower. The Flying Spur family doubled in size when V8s and W12s models were introduced last year, raising horsepower to 521 and 626 and featuring a unique front fascia design, a rear diffuser, and black painted grills. Having already stated our preference for the Flying Spur V8's relative agility and throatier sound, we hypothesized that the V8s would be the most compelling from a driving standpoint. Some numbers. As trivial as facts and figures may be to the typical Bentley owner, one number of particular consequence is 5,509, the pounds this test car carried onto our scales, 55.1% of the total resting on the front wheels. On one hand, that makes its 4.3 second 0 to 60 mile per hour and 10.5 second 0 to 100 mile per hour times that much more impressive. Same with the 167-foot stop from 70 miles per hour, but at the skid pad, the low-profile 275/35ZR21 Pirelli P0s that trapped the V8's optional 21-inch 6-spoke wheels were overwhelmed after just 0.83 grams of lateral acceleration. And despite the standard all-wheel drive system sending 60% of the available torque to the rear wheels, understeer persisted as the limit. Effortless high-speed travel has always been a mark of a Bentley, and the V8s fulfills this mission brilliantly. The car feels marvelously quick off the line. While nothing tends to happen suddenly in a Bentley, that's all part of the waft. The V8s is tuned for sharper throttle response, which allows it not only to reach 50 miles per hour in just 2.6 seconds from a 30-mile-per-hour low, but also to feel generally alert, which isn't something we've always been able to say about these hulking luxury cars. And speed attained is speed maintained with unwavering stability, even deep into triple-digit territory, with sharp steering that tightens up considerably when the sportiest of the 4 chassis modes has been selected. The car's massive size, the wheelbase alone stretches more than 10 feet, and prodigious weight keep it from being much fun on a twisty road, but in curves the body stays heroically flat, making it feel more planted than expected. And the brake pedal feel is utterly perfect. With the starting MSRP of $208,725, the V8S is exactly $16,000 pricier than the standard Flying Spur V8. Our test example brought to the party another $26,000 worth of options, more than we'd care to rattle off here, and only one of which, a $3,360 set of 21-inch wheels, had any bearing on performance. Still, a few are worth mentioning, if only because their prices strain credulity. For example, this car's darkened headlamp bezels and taillamp lenses, the sort of thing one might think would be included in the S treatment, added or $1,805 to the final tally. Bentley doesn't charge any extra for this example's polarizing Camel paint, which reads as bronze from a few paces away but upon close inspection sparkles with every color in the rainbow. Painting the brake calipers black cost $1,555, however. And we'd love to know if there's any material cost-related reason for Bentley to charge $2,190 to use a contrasting color of thread to stitch the seat upholstery and the steering wheel leather. But there we are thinking like normal people again. So the Flying Spur isn't exactly state-of-the-art, although in V8's form, it is somewhat more focused from a driving standpoint. Heavy yet still quite fast, it is as graceful as every Bentley ought to be. And as we hypothesized, it's the most engaging Flying Spur we've driven yet. But Bentley sedans won't be like this forever. From what we can gather after seeing the lovely new 2019 Continental GT debut and after interviewing Bentley's boss, Wolfgang Derheimer, this car's eventual replacement is likely to be far more futuristic and possibly electrified, so we ought to savor its big, heavy Bentley-ness while we still can.